the text that we are going to be learning today is something I like to call Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You guys heard of it? Deep text, hey guys? Really profound. Rishonim. Goldilocks goes and she Goldilocks needs some guidance in life. That chick broke into their house and then she ate their food. I'm sorry. She needs some parenting. She's having like a teenage rebellion in the forest. But what actually happens is she tastes the dad's porridge and it's too hot, and she tastes the mom's porridge and it's too cold, obviously, because the mother woke up early before everyone made her porridge and still hasn't had time to eat it because she's so busy fetching over everyone else, so now her porridge is cold, and then the baby bear's porridge was just right. Hey, that is right, hey? Yeah. Okay. So, I never appreciated how brilliant that story is. It is brilliant. I'm going to read it to my kids, okay? But why is it so brilliant? I'm going to tell you. So the reason I'm here is to kind of speak to you about Yom Kipper, to have a pre-Yom Kipper shir so we can all prepare ourselves spiritually, okay? But how do we do that? What is Yom Kippur? I am freaking out, by the way, about Yom Kippur. So I'm not here to be like, on Yom Kippur, I basically just stand like this the whole day. In white. I don't have any aches and pains in my body. No, I'm freaking out about Yom Kippur. And I'm also kind of worried about that whole God's going to determine what happens for me thing. So I'm like worried about my back and I'm worried about my life. Worried about Yom Kippur. Okay? Let's just talk about for a second what is Yom Kippur before we get to the wisdom of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So hungry and thirsty and tired and sore back, okay? But why are we hungry and thirsty and tired and sore back? Because we are trying to be even more than a perfect human. We are trying to be an angel. And an angel doesn't need food, and an angel doesn't need drink, and an angel doesn't need anything physical. That's why we can't wash. We can't anoint ourselves. You know, it's not a regular fast. It's not like Tisha B'Av where we fast and we're sad. And it's actually got nothing to do with like being hungry. I mean, we are hungry, but we pretend we're not because we are so spiritual. And we have to disengage completely with the physical world and try and be like malachim, try and be like angels, so that we are totally immersed in spirituality and we're so connected to Hashem, and we a level above what we are. We're a level above a human being, right? That's like the point. And that's why we wear white as well. It's not just a fashion statement. It's not just because Yom Kippur falls around spring and we can launch into our spring wardrobe. No. It's because we want to elevate ourselves totally and utterly. So if we can do that on Yom Kippur by fasting and wearing white, why don't we do that every single day? If there's a way to be even more than ourselves, if there's a way to be even more than a perfect human, there's a way to almost bridge yourself between humanity and Hashem and be like an angel, why isn't Yom Kippur every day? It's too extreme, right? But then, if the point of being a Yid, which I think we all kind of accept, is to be the best version of ourselves in this world. That's really what Torah is. It's not a list of don'ts. It's a ingredient. It's a recipe for how to be the best version of yourself. Like if Shaina came up to me now and was like, my mom made your banana bread. I made up this recipe one time. It really worked out well. It's like the first time that's ever happened to me. Terrible in the kitchen, but I did work out this recipe of like sugar-free banana cake with free-range eggs and oats instead of flour and all these ridiculously nutritious things. And and then they made it and they loved it, and when I serve it to people, they love it, and everyone thinks I'm like the nutrition queen. And the recipe is sugar-free, and it's like preservative-free and this free and that free. So technically, that's a list of things I can't use. Sugar's yum, you know? But if I put sugar in my banana bread, it wouldn't be what it is. It wouldn't be the best version of itself. It would have like refined sugar in it, and then, you know, people wouldn't want to eat it. So the recipe for the sensational sugar-free, organic, you know, preservative-free, free-range banana bread that I've created is the way that I create the best possible option of banana bread. So that's really what we are rotten bananas in the pantry, and Torah is the recipe to make us into sugar-free, low GI, preservative-free, free-range banana bread that everyone loves. It's delicious. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if we're busy making ourselves into banana bread the whole time, and every day we're working on ourselves, every day we daven, every day we dress sneers, we don't say like, I think I'm going to be the best version of myself on Sunday. I think Sunday is going to be like best sim day. But today is more of like average sim day. Today is like more of like a jeans and Supergas sim day. No. You know, and we don't keep Shabbos once a month. We keep Shabbos every week. So if we are doing it anyway, we're trying our best anyway. Because also, like for example, on Yom Kipper, as we all said, we get starving. So it's not as if when we don't eat, we become angels. We're trying our best and we're still starving, right? So during the year, we're trying our best and we still fail. I fail all the time, okay? But if we are trying our best each and every day, why do we need Yom Kippur? I want you to take those two questions and put them on a shelf. Why isn't Yom Kippur every day? And why do we need Yom Kippur at all? And I want to tell you about a concept called the Shvil HaZahav, the golden mean, the golden path, which the Rambam espouses. That is a fancy word, which means he talks about this, okay, or did. And I want to tell you a story about myself. So the last time I was here, I can't remember when it was, but I don't know if I'd moved into my EcoPod or I'd built the EcoPod. Where was I in that? I was in. I don't live there anymore. We have moved out of the EcoPod. And we now live in another mansion. Okay, it's not really a mansion, but I call it a mansion compared to Boba's garage. It's a mansion. It's like a 4-bedroom. It's exactly like what I lived in before, that I thought like, I don't need this. I'm so elevated. I am one with my needs. I just can live in a garage. And then we lived there, and then we were all like, this is crazy. We need a house today. So I now live back in a McMansion, but the difference is we are renting this McMansion. The previous one we owned. A huge motivator for us moving into our EcoPod was actually we wanted to immigrate without immigrating. We love living here. We love our life. We love South Africa. And there are so many things that I love about living here, but there are a lot of things that worry my husband and I about living in this country. So we kind of wanted to make this compromise. We wanted to immigrate without immigrating, and we thought the way to do that was to move into my mother-in-law's garage. That's what we thought was the way to do that. But what happened was so many forces were at play that we couldn't possibly even begin to anticipate, because my husband and I fancy ourselves as very analytical people. So we thought we had looked at every conceivable thing. If this happens in this, and if this happens in this, we had all mapped out. And Hashem was like, sit down, little girl. You know nothing. You just sit on your chair and let me run the world. And that's what he did. And there were so many things at play that eventually one day, like literally one day, my husband and I were like, yeah, we're going to move out. And then we did, about 4 days later, into this rental, which Hashem also arranged for us to be there and ready and up the road and available. But what happened? There was an equalizing experience in my life. I said to someone the other day, that whole selling my house, building an ecopod, moving into the ecopod, moving out of an ecopod and moving into a rental was the great equalizer of my adult life. And this speaks to your idea of the local call, the short distance call, because Hashem is always there with us, guiding us, and sometimes he just gently rubs our forehead with a feather while we're sleeping. Okay, my darling, and sometimes he slaps us in the face, like, chick, you cannot live in Bob's garage. What were you thinking? Okay? I'm moving you to a rental. We are now living in this McMansion, which we do not own, which we are renting, and we actually are the happiest we've ever been. We are so liberated. Why am I telling you this story? I don't know. No, I'm just joking, I do. Because in life, you need equalizers. You need equalizers to bring you back to the path where you are supposed to be. Where are you supposed to be? How do you know? How do you know where you are supposed to be? So the Rambam says that the only place to be, the only place to find happiness, peace, fulfillment, and or the best you can possibly hope for yourself as a human being in this life is in the golden mean. Not too much to the left and not too much to the right. Now that we know we have to live in the middle, and we understand why we can't have Yom Kipper every day, but we do need Yom Kipper once a year. Why? Because it's the great equalizer. Let's talk about why we need an equalizer. Why do we need an equalizer once a year? To equalize your life, to put you back on your path, to give us a reality check. What is that? How do you know you've been put back on your path if you don't know what your path is? When you feel happy. Who here feels happy all the time? I don't. For sure not. So there's this idea that when we figure out our life's purpose, that's when we'll be happy. When we figure out exactly what we're meant to do, then we'll go from being this insecure, unsure, fragmented person to being a whole, happy, complete person. It's going to be like a switch. You're going to switch on the light. Does anyone here buy that? You buy it. It's going to happen for you. One day you're going to figure it all out and you're going to flip the switch. Yeah, that is true. It's called Shamayim. That's the switch that gets flipped. So saving turning off that switch and going into Olam Haba, what can we do here in Olam Hazeh? Where we acknowledge there's no such thing as always happy. There's no such thing as always fulfilled. Because even if you do feel totally fulfilled, which Baruch Hashem, a lot of the time I do. I'm exactly where I want to be. I'm married to whom I believe is my complete and utter soulmate. I don't believe I could be with anyone else. I'm obsessed with my children. I couldn't be more blessed, you know. And I still feel super miff if I stub my toe. The other day I stood on a Lego. Has anyone here stood on a Lego? Yes. Oh, my shattered nerves. I was all alone in the lounge and I stood on it and I was like yelped out loud and I was thinking, no one's coming, no one's home. I'm just standing in the lounge by myself holding my foot. I was so miserable. I felt so sorry for myself. Okay, it was like 2 minutes. But the point is, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how fulfilled you are. It doesn't matter how well you've got your life figured out. Lego exists. Literal Lego that you can step on and proverbial Lego. The point being that, and last time I said, there's things that you can't control that are going to happen in the day. And all the days make up your life. So there are things that are going to happen that are going to miff you out or stress you out or make you tired. So it's not realistic to wait for this perfect, authentic vision of your life to happen upon you, and then everything's going to be fine, right? The authentic self does not exist. The true self there's no such thing as this is me. Tick. Because I thought I had some things figured out when I got, after like 18 months of marriage. The first year sucked, okay? But then I kind of got into the groove. Then I had a baby, okay? I mean, you want to talk about an equalizer? I did not sleep for 16 months because neither did my baby, okay? So I went from a person who needs, this was in my identity, I need 10 hours of sleep. Not 8, 10. To being a person who kind of pieced 6 hours together within a 24-hour period, a nap here, a nap here, a nap here. And what was I going to say? I'm really sorry, guys, Judah, husband, Hashem, this isn't working for me. I am a person who needs 10 hours of sleep. So this whole parenting thing, I'm just going to pass out. I'm just going to take a pass. No, I had to adapt. Myself had to change. My identity had to change. I had to become someone who copes really well without sleep. I don't cope really well, but I'm not as dysfunctional without it as I used to be, okay? That's it. I had to choose. I had a choice. So let's go back to Yom Kippur, okay? We want to live in the middle, because that's the only place that we have the best choice of feeling the most joy and contentment and peace. I don't love this word happy. I think I spoke about that last time as well, because I think it's like smoke. As you feel it, as you try to catch it with your hand, it's gone. There's no such thing as like, I'm always happy. You can try and fuse your life with as many happy moments as possible, but you can never be like, my life is 100% happy. It's just not possible because of Lego. You know, and proverbial Lego. But joy and peace and calm is much more attainable. We can say, even though I stepped on a Lego, I was not very calm in that moment, but I had a calm day. And many calm days can equal a calm life. Okay, so we understand we need to be in the middle. Right? What's going to happen on Yom Kippur? How is Yom Kippur going to be that great equalizer? Because I really don't recommend buying a house, making it beautiful, selling it, moving in with your mother, spending 3 months renovating your mother-in-law's garage, moving into the garage, living there for 6 months, hating it, moving out, finding a rental, moving into the rental, packing up your boxes again, unpacking them, re-putting things on the wall. I really don't recommend that. That is when Hashem's like, where's the wet fish? I recommend listening out for the gentle flutters of a bird's wing. Okay, that's what I'm recommending. So, how do we make Yom Kippur into that for ourselves? Because trust me when I say, Hashem is fine. He does not need all of us to fast and be starving. We need it. So how do we make Yom Kippur into the great equalizer for ourselves? I want you to think about a boat. A boat has a helm, like a steering wheel situation. And basically, if I'm here with the boat and I want to get to the clock, and I'm holding the helm dead straight, if I just have a twitch, an involuntary twitch in my wrist, and the helm veers half of a degree to the left, you can't even see, right? By the time I've traveled the hour that it would have taken me to sail from here to the clock, I'm actually going to be from here to that sign. Because the subtle shift over time creates massive change. Now, obviously, that can be wonderful, right? If you just say one kapitel of Tehillim every day, after 5 years, you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, I don't even know I'm saying it. I know it off by heart. I literally could say it in my sleep. I'm equal again. Now I could add another one. And then after time, you become a person who's actually saying half the book of Tehillim off by heart in the car on the way to school. That's quite a great person. I'm not that girl, but I'm saying you could be. But it's also true of small things that you think are inconsequential, but that hurt you. That hurt us in the long run. The small, tiny decisions that we make each and every day have a massive impact. But we only realize their impact once we're there. It's no good to say like, oh, today it's fine, it's just today. Because a couple hundred just todays equals your life. Right? And that is why we need Yom Kippur. Hashem is not sitting on a cloud with a book that says Hirsch Lions, grades 8 to 10, and then a class list. I think I'm going to wipe her slate clean. She's got a black mark. Let me see how she does Musaf. I'll think about erasing that black mark. Oh, no, she didn't stand the whole of Musaf. Sucks to be her. No. We are wiping our own slate clean. And that is the equalizer of our life. To have a day, not once a month, not once a week, once a year only, where we go above ourselves, above our best version of ourselves. We're trying to be the best version of ourselves each and every day, and we fail. And we also succeed a lot. But we're going to take it next level. We're going to take it one step further, once a year, and say, not only am I going to be the best version of myself, I'm going to be above myself. I'm going to actually be angelic, so that I can equalize my life, so that I can do it all again. Why am I equalizing my life? Because I want to live here, so that I can get there. I don't even want to veer half a degree and then land up there. So, in summary, Goldilocks breaks into the house. That chick, okay? She was not doing mitzvahs that day. She breaks into the house and she samples the porridge. Who is Goldilocks? What is the porridge? Life. What do we settle on? Which porridge? The balance. How do we do that? We equalize ourselves. Once a day by going to sleep, once a week by having Shabbos, once a month by Rosh Chodesh, and once a year with Yom Kippur. We wipe our own slate clean so that we can be the best versions of ourselves, so that we can have the best life, so that we can have the most opportunities to feel happiness and joy and contentment and peace and calm, and avoid as much proverbial and literal Lego as possible. It's not for Hashem, it's for us. Hashem wants us to have the best, and that's why he gives us Yom Kippur. So, we do the mitzvahs in the Shvil HaZahav. We sample life. We sample the cold porridge, we sample the hot porridge, and always we realize the perfect one is the right temperature. And if we forget, we have Yom Kippur to equalize us.